Welcome to everybody out there in Red Hatterland. We're so glad to be here today. Jason and I are going to give you an update on where things are with the convention. There's a lot of exciting things happening. Plans are still being made. Entertainers are being booked and different activities are being arranged. So we're very excited about everything that's coming in the near future. So there are a couple questions that various people have had. So I'm going to start off by asking Jason a couple of the questions that we've been hearing from the members to get answers to those at this time. So Jason, there's been a lot of questions around what exactly is happening with the event, with the convention. What are the plans? What are the activities? Exactly what's happening? And some of those details are in the brochure, but they are an outline of what's happening. So what can you tell us about where we're at with the convention and what's happening and what we should be expecting in the near future?
Yep. So thanks, Michelle. I'm very excited to be here on behalf of the Red Hat Society travel team today to give you a couple of updates about convention programming, as well as answer some questions that Michelle's been hearing around the Hatterverse and at Hat Quarters there for sure. One very exciting thing that will be happening in the next, let's say, 24 to 48 hours is you will be receiving in your email information about our airline partnership. So we have a partnership with Delta Airlines to fly those of you who need to travel by air into San Antonio. We did a very exhaustive search looking for the airlines that provided the greatest availability, the most number of flights. We looked at where the majority of people are coming from. We have a lot of people coming from the south, the southeast of the country. Delta has hubs all around the country, New York, Salt Lake, Seattle, Los Angeles, as well as their major hub in Atlanta. And one of the reasons that we chose to go with Delta is most everyone, and we'll say that was about 90% of the people attending from domestically in the United States can get to San Antonio with only one flight connection. That was very different than we had with some of the other airlines, even some of the smaller budget airlines, which in reality aren't so budget anymore these days in 2026. But for a lot of people, it was going to be sometimes two connections to get to San Antonio. So we have a very good partnership with Delta that includes discounts across the board in all classes of service. There are two ways to book your reservations. You don't have to call headquarters. You don't have to call Red Hat Society Travel. In your email, you will be provided with a link. You can click directly on that link to go on Delta's website and make your reservations directly with Delta. It'll be directly on Delta's website. You won't be using any third party. So if there's any problems or questions, your flight is booked directly with Delta Airlines. The second option, which may be of interest to some of you, is Delta has provided us with a 1-800 number, a toll-free service where you can call in, speak to a Delta reservations agent directly over the phone, and make your reservations directly on the phone. We'll give you a meeting code, which will be our event code that you'll need to give them so that they can pull up our event, know exactly the parameters, know that you're heading into San Antonio. And because this is a meeting and event, unlike if you were just booking your own, personal travel and calling into Delta where they would charge you a service fee or a processing fee for doing that over the phone, because this is for a meeting and event, there are no service fees whatsoever. So please feel free to use this service. Call Delta directly, talk to their air reservations agents, ask them all kinds of questions about that kind of stuff, but then get your air reservations made to fly directly into San Antonio. So again, watch for your email this week. And once the email is out, we'll be posting that in all of the social channels on Facebook and sharing it with all of the various different groups. So watch for that this week. The second thing that I wanted to share was Michelle hinted at a lot of progress is being made on the programming. So one thing that's different this year from perhaps in the past years is that the programming, the big blocks of things and the general schedule is announced when we open registration. But the specifics of what happens within those blocks don't actually get announced until closer to the registration. Well, we're in the final stages of planning and organizing all of those things right now, all of the different activities that will happen in the optional programming blocks. Michelle mentioned all of the entertainers. So this would be the entertainers for the evening parties. We've got some entertainment and activities going on inside of Ruby's Marketplace. We're finalizing all of that kind of stuff over the next several weeks, and we hope to make that big announcement right around April 1st. It won't be an April Fool's joke for sure, because we've got all kinds of programming to announce for you. So stay tuned, get your registrations in because we are filling up on some of the areas. Some of those optional tours are very close to being full. I know the Bucky's tour is about 80% full right now. We're going to release actually something I have an email to send over to Michelle so that she can share all of this information is how full are all of the tour day tours, the pirate party, the Bucky's tour, because that might put a little pin in your side to get your registrations in and make sure you're not missing out on any of that kind of stuff. But those are the two big programming announcements that we wanted to make and share with you today. Again, we'll be posting all of this information in email, so watch your emails and posting it in all of the social channels. And that brings us up to speed with convention programming so far. Michelle, I know that the scuttlebutt all around all of the chapters and at headquarters is going heavy, and I know that you're fielding a lot of questions on our behalf. So we really appreciate you and your team for doing that. But let's answer some of the questions or some of the hottest questions that you're getting from members today. What do you have for us?
So a question that we're hearing from a lot of members is they're asking how they go about making changes to their reservations that they already have in place, whether they want to add a few days or add one of the bonus days or something that they need to slightly change in their current reservation. How do they go about doing that?
So this is a great question. So let me answer in two ways. Let me first talk to people who have not registered yet. One of the most important things and the way that the convention program was designed based on feedback that we had heard was go through the program. We have the full schedule. We have all of the options. You can even call in and talk to Lynn about the program, but make all of your decisions before you do your online registration. It's much easier to book it all in advance because we are holding space and we're holding rooms, room nights, tours, all of that kind of stuff for people who do it as part of their registration. So if you're not registered for convention yet, make sure you book everything that you want as part of your registration. Okay, now for those people who have already registered and want to make a change, they want to add on something. We can do that based on availability. So part of the challenge that we're having right now is we're very full on, for example, I want to add on extra room nights before or after convention. On some of those nights, we're actually sold out of our blocks already. That doesn't mean that we can't accommodate you. It means that we have to work directly with the hotel on a case by case basis. And that turnaround takes time. The hotel is entering their spring break period or gearing up for spring break period. So our response time from the hotel takes quite a while. So if you are already registered and you want to add on something extra, the best way to do it is to communicate with us via email. Send us an email through your invoice. Every invoice that you've received that's in your email has a reply link. That way we have that documented and we can work directly with the hotel in that way. So we do have a long list of people who are waiting for updates about, oh, I want to add on an extra night. Oh, I want to add on this tour. I want to add on the pirate party. And we are fabulously excited about all of those kinds of things. We're just working through them one at a time, and we have to work directly with the hotel to get extra space that we didn't necessarily have contracted for. So hopefully that helps calm some nerves out there. We are working through all of those. I know the added challenge with some of those things is some people are going to be like, well, but I need to book my flights and I can't book my flight until I've got the hotel. If that's the case, if you're flying in, when you send us that email, be sure to put that in there so we can separate out those people. So, because we know getting flights as far in advance is going to be your best option in terms of pricing and schedule and that kind of stuff. So we're working through these one at a time. They do take time, again, because we're not working through inventory that we're currently holding, but we are working through them and we will get back to you.
So just to clarify what you mean by pre-reserved blocks or inventory, That means a certain number of rooms that were pre-scheduled or pre-arranged with the hotel at a certain price. And once we sell through those or have those all reserved with our people, then we have to go back and get additional rooms that we didn't previously plan on. Now, for the actual event, we bought the whole entire hotel. We're talking about the Queen's Day, the bonus day, or if you're wanting to come in early and spend some time in San Antonio, or if you're wanting to stay later. We only had a certain number that we had reserved and set aside for us. So we still have to work with the hotel directly on making sure we can accommodate those needs that are outside of the regular convention that's the 3 day, 4 day convention.
Yes. So all of the packages that you'll recall for those of you that are already registered that registration was different this year and that your hotel was booked as part of your registration package. So we had all of those nights built in for the 3, 4, 5 night packages, depending on whether you were just convention only or Queen's Retreat or tour stay. So we had contracted for all of those rooms. What we have now is a bunch of people who want to add on extra rooms that are not part of one of those packages. We can fully accommodate, or we have been able to accommodate many people in that. But what we've run into now is that we're sold out on some of the nights. Now, to clarify, one point that you made, Michelle, is when we go back to the hotel and we ask for additional rooms, 99% of the time, it is at the same contracted rate. So it will be the rates that we have in the brochure. We just don't have them in our inventory to be able to assign to you at this point. We have to then add on additional contracts to the hotel. And the challenge that we have with additional contracts is anytime you take a contract out, you're obligated for it. And we've got to pay for all of those rooms, regardless of whether we fill them or not. So this is where we have to carefully balance that because we don't want to put the company at risk. We have to be very carefully, pull inventory in order to give them to you guys in your packages without overcommitting. And that's why we're doing it on a case by case, one-off basis. Does that clarify, Michelle?
Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you so much. People who aren't in the travel industry won't understand what you mean by blocks of rooms or inventory. So I wanted to make sure we clarified that so that there's full understanding of what you're discussing and talking about. So there's been questions from members as far as how they paid, people who paid in full, but then there's individuals who paid on payment plans, wondering what their balance is, whether their credit cards have been charged each month up to this point. So there's questions circling around the payment plans and what balances there are and understanding what they still owe.
Okay. And again, I'm going to take this in two parts. Let me first address the people who paid in full. If you paid in full for your registration, and remember, it was registration and add-ons only, that part is already complete. The outstanding piece for those people are hotel payments are due June 15th. So you paid in full for your registration. There's nothing more to do until June 15th. And you will, from us, around the beginning of June, start getting reminders. We'll send you an invoice that will show what you have registered for, what you've paid to date, and what the balance is. And then we'll just need to settle that up in the first couple of weeks of June to make sure that everyone is paid in full by June 15th. Now, for those of you who went on to the payment plan and you registered with just an initial upfront deposit, and then your balance was spread across 10 monthly payments. That started on September 15th and they'll go through June 15th. We've done all of the charges for all of those through January. Let me see, what is today? February 12th. So we're coming up in a few days is going to be the February payment. Those payments have gone off every single month on the 15th as scheduled. And after those payments post, we email to you a receipt. And that receipt shows that your monthly payment was posted. And then you also have in any of your emails from us, any of your invoice emails, they have a link. And at the bottom of that, there's a little button, and you can press to go look at your invoice, and it will automatically pull up your invoice that will show you everything that you're registered for, including all of the itemized charges for that. It will show you your monthly payment plan, as well as show which of those months are paid and which ones are outstanding. So everyone has the ability in their original confirmation email to pull up your account. You don't even have to have a login or a password. Just click the button in your email that says, well, now I'm forgetting what it says. It's a little blue button at the bottom that says view my invoice or something like that. You can see your payment plan. If you're on the payment plan and your credit cards have been going through, you're just automatically charged on the 15th of the month. I will say that we do have a group of members who we've had some challenges with the credit card for various different reasons. It'll get declined for some reason. Maybe they don't recognize the charge. We've communicated with a few people who got a new credit card or their expiration date needed to be updated for whatever reason. If you're not seeing charges on a monthly basis, you probably fall into that category that there was a problem with your credit card at some point. Now, we have followed up with everyone multiple times in your emails. I think one of the challenges that we're having is with some of the email systems, our emails might not go to your inbox automatically. You may need to check into your spam, into your junk folders. Different email programs all call it something different. Sometimes I know I use Gmail. Sometimes there's some tabs across the top called promotions or offers or something like that. It may be in one of those, but I guarantee you, everyone has gotten a receipt for every monthly payment that we have processed. Everyone has been sent an email if there was a problem processing your credit card. We've even tried calling a number of people. So if you think you might be behind on your payment plan, call in. She'll be able to pull up your invoice and tell you exactly which months were paid, which ones are outstanding. We're only at month 5, so we can get everyone caught up so that it's not, falling all the way till the last minute. But if you have any questions about that, and I spent a lot of time on the phone last night with Lynn talking through invoices and looking at we even pulled up a couple of people's specific invoices and looking at them. So we're more than happy to help you with that. Call Lynn. But everyone has the ability to look at your invoice. You just need to pull up one of your invoice emails and click the link in there, and it'll take you to the live site, which shows you what you've paid and what the balances are.
So what I'm primarily hearing is that we need to make sure we're checking our email. Communication is primarily happening by email. You need to check your spam folder and other folders. And if you still can't find stuff, you can always try the search field. So if you try the search field, there's certain things you can put in, convention, you can put in, various email addresses. In fact, Jason, what would be the best thing for the people to search in the search field in their email to find their email concerning their invoices and such?
RHS convention. So
Okay.
it may sometimes say RHS International Convention, but if you just put in RHS convention, that will pull up. The other thing that I'll note, Michelle, is the emails don't actually come from redhatsociety.com, or they don't come from redhatsocietytravel.com. They come through our invoice processor that's called Travel Joy. So it still says Red Hat Society Travel in the from, but the actual email address is from something at traveljoy.com. So that's another thing that you can put in your search field, Travel Joy, all one word, TRAVELJOY. That all of that is our invoice processor and our accounting system. So that's another keyword that you can use in your search field as well.
TravelJoy is not a separate travel company. That's just the processing system that's used to process your credit cards. And other processing systems for other industries would be Stripe or Intuit or PayPal. There's a variety of ways that people's credit cards can be processed. So that's why it's a different address. It's just the company that the processing is happening through, not an actual email address for Red Hat Society Travel directly.
One more thing too, if people are missing their receipt or they have a question about their invoice or whatever, calling 1-866-5 Red Hat will get you to Lynn. And Lynn has the ability in there to see what date your receipt was sent so that you can actually go look at a specific date in your email. If you still can't find it, she also has the ability to press a button and automatically resend your invoice to you. So if you're missing something, just reach out and give Lynn a call. She can totally help you. And if Lynn's missing something, Lynn knows how to reach me, and we can get that fixed for you.
So I think that's all the questions we've received from members recently. So Jason, is there anything else that we haven't discussed or any other questions that you can think of that we need to talk about today?
Let me mention something to you, Michelle,
Okay, perfect.
because I know that we've heard the rumor wheel can spin, like a hamster wheel for sure sometimes. And we really want to reassure everyone out there. I don't know where the information, perhaps it's misinformation, maybe it's a little misunderstanding, or that old game of telephone that as it spreads, it changes a little bit. This convention is 100% going ahead. We are not canceling this convention for any reason of our choosing. Now, I can't. Somebody asked me to guarantee that the other day, and I said, well, nobody predicted COVID coming, and
Or a
nobody can predict
hurricane.
acts of gods or any of that kind of
Yes.
stuff. And of course, we all understand that. But my company has multiple, hundreds of thousands of dollars of contracts with this hotel. We don't have giant checking accounts to be able to pay cancellation penalties if we were to cancel this convention. This convention will not be canceled for any reasons that relate to us. So I want to put that worry out of people's minds. We need to stop that conversation wherever it's going. This convention will go forward. Um, uh, and it will be fantastic and exciting for all the people who choose to attend. For those of you that are not able to attend, we're sad, we're disappointed. You will miss out on a lot of great parties, a lot of great camaraderie, interactivity. So please put those concerns aside. We are moving forward, full steam ahead on the planning. Susan, Lynn, we have multiple meetings every week with different people, different vendors, different partners doing different things. Lynn's talking to people that will be I'm sorry, Susan's talking to people who will be participating in Ruby's Marketplace and potential sponsors and entertainers. And I'm working on programming and processing invoices. And Lynn's talking to people on the phone every single day. Everything is moving forward full steam ahead. So please put those concerns out of your mind. We are not canceling for any reason of our choosing. We are moving full steam ahead on everything. So
Yeah, no, I forgot about that. So at this point, we have contracted with the travel company for this event, and there's actually more expense in canceling it than ever moving forward. So we fully expect that this convention will completely sell out before the convention starts. There's a lot of great information still coming, information about some entertainment and special guests that will be at the convention that in the end, everyone's going to go, oh, I have to be at that convention. It's really going to be something extra special. So I'm really excited to see you all there. And just know that no, this convention is not being canceled ever. It is going forward, short of something like an act of God where the hotel's gone because of a hurricane. We are having this convention and we are moving forward. So I did want to talk a little bit about the difference between a funvention and an international convention. So the term funvention was something that was invented, and a funvention is generally an event that is sponsored by a chapter, and they open it up to multiple chapters or to the whole nation or the whole world to attend, but they're usually on a smaller scale. An international convention is sponsored by headquarters, whether that is one large convention or in the future some smaller regional conventions. They are still different than a funvention. A funvention is something that, like I said, is being produced or being um, handled and sponsored by a local chapter or a local, maybe Queen's Council, or maybe a couple chapters have grouped together. So the difference between a funvention and a convention is funventions are great and fun, and we all love going to them. They're just on a different scale than an international convention is. So this is an opportunity for everyone to get together and have some really great entertainment and sisterhood, and we're very excited to have everyone come together for this event in August.
and so much more to come. There's a
And
lot of
so much
things
more to
that
come.
we're still planning to
Yes.
announce. So keep staying tuned to the social channels, to your emails, because as we get closer, the pace of information is going to start coming a lot faster, a lot more details, a lot more information, and well, I couldn't be more excited. Terrific. Thank you, Michelle. Any other
Oh, no problem.
questions that you have for me today?
Well, that's it. I'm sure that we'll have more of these video opportunities in the future to kind of address questions and concerns of the members as we move forward and as more information comes out. So thank you so much for your time today, Jason. And thank you, members, for attending or for listening. And I hope that your questions have been answered and that we'll see you in San Antonio. For the members, I also have the quarterly State of the Sisterhood that I can always report during monthly ambassador meetings, quarterly queen meetings as well. So there's lots of communication. We have our monthly newsletter that comes out, the magazine, the Friday broadcasts. So there's lots of opportunities that you'll be hearing more about the convention on a much more significant pace than we've had in the future or in the past. Now that we're getting closer and more information is coming out, so it's all very exciting.
Good. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today, and thanks everyone.
Yeah, thanks.